So I was gonna do a cover for this video of a song that I've been working on for a little bit, and I thought, hey, I haven't been working on it too long, it probably won't be that great, but that's fine. No, it was so flat. I tried so many times, and it just did not get any better, so that's not happening. Dearest, it is Women's History Month. Earlier this month we celebrated International Women's Day, so basically it's a time where all of us are celebrating women, which is an awesome cause, and I'm totally willing to get behind that. I'm taking a few people's idea, because a lot of people did this on Facebook already, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it in a video. I just want to give a shout out to the awesome women that I have in my life. I know that there's so many, and I'm not gonna be able to talk about all of them, but I'm gonna try. It's probably gonna make this video endless, but when aren't my videos endless? And you know what? If this is the one that is my longest video, then at least it's about something good. Also, I don't have pictures with every single woman that I'm gonna talk about, but for the ones that I do have pictures with, hey, guess what's gonna be in the video? Guess what's gonna be on here? I hope that's okay with y'all, because I definitely did not ask first. Whoops. First is obviously my mommy. She's given so much for me. So much energy and time and just her entire being to making sure that Carla and I were provided for, to making sure that we had everything we needed and that we're doing okay. She gives all of her love to us, and whatever we don't get, it's probably going to her grandkids. She works harder than almost anyone I know, like to a fault. And I know I'm not the easiest child to deal with. I have a lot of mental health issues going on. I know I can be pretty disrespectful. I want to do theater for a living. Like, what is this? What am I? But she's still incredibly supportive, incredibly loving, and she's always right there when I need her. My sister Carla is phenomenal, and everybody knows it. Everyone who knows me knows that she's my person, that she's my number one, and that I go to her for absolutely everything. She basically made me into the person I am today. She made sure I got all the cultural references, all the movies and the music and the toys and all that, even the video games. She's supported me since day one in everything I want to do. She's the first one to tell me when I'm messing up and when I need to correct myself. She has helped me to become a much more devout Christian, not with just the things she says, but also with the example that she gives me every day. She's such a great mom. Like, she's such a great mom, even if she doesn't know it. She's creative, she's smart, she's funny. She can drop absolutely everything to give me exactly the words that I need, and nobody helps change what I'm going through better than Carla does. My grandmothers were incredibly influential in my life. I lost both of them when I was rather young, and it's kind of hard knowing that I didn't get to know them better, but the memories I have of them are nothing but absolute light. These women were the embodiment of love. They guided my family in terms of our faith, and I can't thank them enough for that, for giving us that example. I have a lot of aunts. It's a really big family, especially because my mom's aunts and my dad's aunts are still my aunts. Like, I don't do that whole second cousin nonsense. They're my aunts, and I love them dearly. They're some of the most hilarious people in my life. It's always such a good time with them. And I know that they love their brothers and their sisters so much that they're willing to do anything for their nieces and nephews. They've shown that kindness and love to us in everything they do. There's an insane amount of generosity, and I'm just grateful to have them in my life. I'm also really grateful for my cousins, who test their limits every day, push new boundaries, and do just awesome things, whether it's being a fantastic mother and still working a job, or being a teacher and taking care of lots of little kids, being a nurse, working with minority students, quitting a job because you need to take care of your own mental health. Whatever it is, they make such great choices for themselves, and it shows that they are finding happiness in what they're doing, and I think that's so important to have in your life. And that also includes the women who married into the family, so Whitney and Liza, don't think I'm forgetting you guys, you're in here too. I am blessed to have amazing women that I go to church with that have always been such a strong anchor in my life. Every single one of them has given me such a good example of what a good Christian woman should be and how to walk in faith in the right way. Hermana Claudia and Hermana Luisa have also been very personal examples in my life of what a good Christian woman should be. Hermana Claudia is like my second mom. I can go to her for absolutely anything. She offered me the job that I have now. She's the reason I'm working. And Hermana Luisa is not only one of the most well-spoken people I know, like she really knows how to talk to absolutely everybody in the best way, but she's also one of the best judges of character I know, which is something that I think is admirable. Like, it shows how good of a person she is, that she can read others so well and know exactly what they need. And even then, she's never judgmental about it. On top of being kind and generous and loving, they also had a lot of faith in me personally. There was a point, especially when I was in college, where I felt kind of disconnected from other members in my church. I felt like I wasn't really getting the same kinds of opportunities. I didn't really feel like people had faith in my faith. They felt probably like because I wasn't there and I couldn't be watched, they didn't know where my spiritual life was. But these two women have never once doubted me. They check on me all the time. They would always reach out to me in the most loving ways possible. They actually asked me how I was doing, which is a lot more than most people did. And they continued to give me opportunities every chance they could. If I was just there for winter break or for the summer, they wanted me to get involved because they trusted me to get involved, which is something I can't express my gratitude enough for. I'm grateful to people like Melissa or Jenny, or people that I kind of grew up with, that I was close to in church. Even Angelique, who I didn't meet till later, but is now dedicating her life to ministry. It had always been such a great example for me. Their testimonies are so important. It was great to see them going through different trials and knowing that I wasn't alone in the things that I was suffering with, and that I could still come out where I needed to be as long as I put Christ in charge. Those women have been through so much and have only been stronger for it, and it's been so good for me to witness their journeys. Even the younger girls like Samira and Idalis and Abby and even Kayla and Emily and Laurita and Aliyah, all of them, because there's way too many of them. But they've done so much, and there's so much about them to admire. Their bravery, their artistry, creativity, their devoutness, their dedication, their individuality. Gosh, there's so many great things. And although some of them may say that I've maybe taught them something, I have learned far more from them. I have learned immense amounts from Elizabeth Vandenberg and Janae Fouché, two of my professors at McDaniel, who not only taught me a whole lot about acting that I really needed to learn, but were some of the most supportive mentors I could have ever possibly asked for. And I know that they still care about me and that they still want great things for me. I can't even begin to fathom the amount of love they have for their students, and I am blessed to have been a part of that. These women could honestly take on the world, and I'd probably thank them. My very first friends, my closest group of friends when I was little, Kimberly, Rose, and Shelley. I grew up with those girls, and time had plans for each and every one of us, but I think we've all come out in a pretty good direction. It's really great to see these girls happy and doing their own thing, on their own paths, being business savvy, traveling, working their butts off, becoming more politically aware. They're such great girls, and I know that they have amazing things in store. I didn't have a lot of female friendships growing up. That wasn't a thing that was a big part of my life for a while, but I always knew that I had them, and that constant, that rock was so essential to me becoming who I am. There were people I met in middle and in high school that helped shape me and my interests, and also I just admired greatly because of their dedication and their passion to things. Amanda, Diana, Julia, Lydia, Rebecca, there's tons. There's a whole bunch of girls that I was lucky enough to work with and to get to know, and they just inspire me every day. No one comes close to my girls, Margie and Charlotte, who somehow are still able to put up with me and are out there reaching for their dreams. They're doing such great things, and I know that the future is scary and plans fall through, but they're still finding their way. They're still pushing forward and becoming these phenomenal people. You can see in everything they do how much they've learned, how much they've grown, how far they've come. You can tell that it's not been easy for them, but they've somehow managed to push through all of that. And whenever I'm having a difficult time, they are right there for me. Those girls know exactly what I need at all times. Those girls keep me grounded in ways I can't even begin to explain. And you know they're funny, because I don't call them the laughing trio for nothing. Jess Meese, my bae, my one true love. I don't even know where I'd be without her. She got me through college, let's be real. That girl was always by my side, and when she wasn't, we both felt so much pain because of it. But she's one of the funniest people I know. I can dance with her like I can't dance with anybody else. She genuinely makes my life better just by being in it. Not just because she makes me happy and laughy and smiley, but because whenever I'm going through something, she's probably going through it too, and sometimes we have very different approaches to how we fix those issues, but that sometimes helps us get to the right solution for us. I can cry with her and I know she's there to comfort me. I can pour my soul out to her and I know she won't judge me. I know how hard she works. I know that she's capable of so many great things. She has phenomenal ideas. She's such a great artist and writer, and I wish that more people knew that about her. And she has the biggest heart. I wish I could be nearly as strong or as brave as she is. Emily was my very first roommate that I ever had at McDaniel, and we hit it off right away because she's just that great of a person. She and I clicked right away. She has all these fun, crazy, nerdy things that she's into that, of course, I love. She is such a kind soul, like I can't put into words how sweet she always is, and her humor is so sarcastic and funny that you just can't help but love her. She made the hard choice of leaving McDaniel because finances are a tough thing, but she still came and visited every single semester because she was that dedicated to her friends. And now she's getting married! Emily's getting married and I get to be in the wedding, and I am so happy for her, and she's just gonna have such a great life, and oh gosh, it's so good. Elizabeth and Lauren were also a really big part of my life at McDaniel. Even when they weren't there or I didn't see them as much, I still remember just how brave they were, how risk-taking they were, how freaking business savvy they were. Like, these women taught me so much about just other personalities, because I was small and meek and they were ready to take on the world, whether or not they knew it. Mariah is literally ready to take on the whole entire world. She wants to see every inch of it, I'm convinced. And she probably will, because when she puts her mind to something, there's no stopping her. She's one of the most determined people I've ever met. She works herself to death, basically, but it's something that I think only she can handle. I don't know anyone else who could take on that much work and still come out on top. She's done great things. She's embraced every opportunity. She's a kind and loving teacher, and she genuinely wants what's best for other people, and it's so great to watch her succeed. Jess Sparky Anderson gets me in a way that most people never will. I can laugh with her about anything, I can cry with her about anything. She and I can be honest with each other on a level that I don't have with a whole lot of other people. And I know that no matter how long we go without talking or seeing each other, we're always there for each other. I can count on her like nobody else. I talk about my stage mom job a lot, but honestly, I wouldn't have been able to get any of the past 3 years done if it weren't for that very first year with Jess right by my side. She and I did phenomenal things together, and I wouldn't have rather done that with anybody else. I wouldn't have gotten through that last year if it weren't for Jen L. She and I knew each other right from the beginning because we had an acting class together. We had a class together almost every single semester of college. We always were partnered up together. From the beginning, had such an admiration of each other's skill level, and I really genuinely think we pushed each other to be better. There's not a whole lot of people that I'm willing to go to Denny's with at 3 in the morning just to cry. We understood each other on an emotional level that I can't really even describe. Mandy, my little, is one of the bravest people I know. She's one of the most loving people I know. She has unconditional love for every soul on this planet. She is kind, she's hilarious, and she's been through so much, but she's still such a trooper. She's doing such great things, and I am endlessly grateful for the woman she is in my life, especially because she pushes me to be better. She's inspirational. There's no other word for it. I was lucky to get close to different alum like Sarah Hull, Ashley Manning, Emily Wendler, Lindsay Arnold. These girls are doing such cool things now. They have jobs that fit their personalities so well, and you can see the passion they put in everything. They're doing awesome things. They're traveling all over the world. Emily's a mom now, and Lindsay's a teacher, so she has a whole bunch of kids to take care of. They've all been through a lot, and I've been fortunate enough to know about different struggles that they've experienced. But I can't begin to express how strong they are through all of that, how much they've powered through. And it's been such a good example for me to know that you can go out into the real world and do great things and do things that you love and feel passionate about. I mean, they're right where they need to be, and I can't thank them enough for just showing me that kindness and for making sure that even after they graduated, they were still there for the rest of us. Juliana and Carrie were both girls that I met through InterVarsity at McDaniel, and I had a few classes with Juliana, so I got to know her a little more personally. But they both had a really strong impact on my spiritual life. Carrie, from the very beginning, even though I wasn't going to InterVarsity regularly, was still incredibly supportive and loving. Like, she knew me by name, she would always talk to me whenever she saw me, she'd let me know that she was praying for me, And she was just a good example of the personal journey I could take in my spiritual life. I didn't have that before she was willing to talk to me. And she made me feel like I was at home every time I went to university. Everyone did, because everyone was loving. But Carrie had something special about her. You could just tell when you spoke to her that God was working through her. And Juliana helped me open up my relationship with God in a way that I'd never even considered before. She spoke to me as a fellow artist, as someone who enjoyed performing and creating, and how God had given me that ability and how God wanted me to see the world through that ability. Juliana, I know, had been through a lot with her mental health, and it was also really inspiring to see someone so devout in their faith also still know that all of that mental health stuff was going on, and it was 100% valid, and it didn't make me any less of a Christian woman. And now they've both pretty much dedicated their lives to God's ministry, and I can't fathom how amazing that is. Oh gosh, okay, here we go. And then there's the millions of girls that I got to know through Alpha Psi, who I love so much. I don't think that the members of Alpha Psi understand how much I mean this when I say that they're my babies and I love them all. Like, that's not me being polite. I genuinely have this place in my heart that is so special, dedicated to all of them. Every single one of them individually is very important to me, and I care for them deeply, and I really just want to see them succeed. And I know that they will, because they've all done such great things already. Jen Schillingberg is one of the strongest personalities I know, and I mean that in the best way. She's passionate and she's driven, and she's not willing to just sit down and take it. She is going to fight for what she believes in, and she does so in a way that's absolutely admirable. She is one of the most supportive people I know when it comes down to it. She is there to educate you on whatever it is that you need. And I can't thank her enough for the emotional support she gave me in one of the most difficult acting challenges I've ever had in my life. She's phenomenal. She's going to do such great things in her theatrical life, as a psychiatrist one day. She's set. Nia walks through the world with such grace, such incomparable elegance, and it's not because she's demure and tiny, it's because she's loving, she has this warm personality, she's not willing to back down from a challenge, she has the grace of God in her entire being. She is so smart and so dedicated. She shows love and kindness to everyone, but she's also willing to get stuff done. And she's not about to let anyone take control over her. She knows who she is and she knows her truth. And she walks with that confidence everywhere she goes. Tony's talent knows no bounds. I can't even express how great it's been to see her abilities grow. She's always out to do the kind thing. She has an imagination that I can't even begin to fathom. I don't think anyone on this planet wants world peace more than Tony does. It's been so great to see how supportive she is and how dedicated she is to the things that she works on, and she's also just brilliant and incredible. Brandy may not be willing to be the most emotional person in front of other people, but her spirit is so warm. She has endless love to give. She's hysterical. Honestly, she's one of the funniest people I know. She has talent shooting out of her veins. Brandy just naturally makes you want to cheer for her. Like, something about her just makes you drawn to her automatically, and after that, you're just like, I want nothing but great things for you. And you know she's gonna get them because she works her butt off and she doesn't let anybody tell her no. Your first impression of Mindy is that she's a hard-working woman, and you're not wrong because she goes for what she needs to do. She gets things done. She's great at being in charge and leading others. If she says she's gonna be there, then you are guaranteed to have her support. And as you get to know her more, you see how motherly she is, how loving she is, how doting she is. She cares so much about the people in her life, and she's just a genuine ball of cuddly sunshine. Juliet may be one of the bravest people I know. Genuinely, I'd trust her with my life. I think, like, if I were ever in a situation where I needed protection, I'd just call for Juliet, and I don't know how she'd keep me protected, but she would. Tiny little girl would take the world by storm. And we should all be afraid, but we should also be 100% okay with it, because that just means our lives are going to be full of Tostitos, chips, and kittens everywhere. She's so sweet and so adorable, and could also punch me in the face, and I'd probably thank her. Sakina already knows she has one of the best voices I've ever heard. She's so fun to be around. She's such a light. I honestly connect with her so much in a way that I don't think she even understands, but she's always been very special to my heart. Especially because I see the hard work she's doing, I see how dedicated she is to the people she loves, and I know that she's going to be amazing in the future. She's going to do such great things. Alex, I feel like, is everyone's just biggest cheerleader. Once she loves you for life, and she's gonna let the world know. She and I have had several heart-to-heart conversations, and it's never a dull moment with her around because she's so fun. I kind of always want to steal her wardrobe. She's always willing to learn and get to know new people and have all these great new experiences. She's growing every single day, and you can see it. Every time I see her, I feel like she's this new person where she just continues to shine this bright light, and I don't know how it's ever gonna stop getting brighter. Stephanie and I have far too much in common. I feel like we've been through a whole lot of similar experiences. She works so hard. She tries to live her life in the best way possible. She goes and gets involved, and she's dedicated to things that she does. She's just an easy person to get along with, and I know that she's working her butt off to get to a better place no matter what. Alexa's one of the most doting souls you'll ever meet, probably to a fault. She is honestly so warm and bright and huggy and lovable, and she really cares for people. She takes charge when she can, and she's not gonna take no for an answer. But she also just really genuinely wants what's best for other people. And I think that anyone would recognize that she is a glue. She's a glue that holds people together. When all of us are falling apart, she is right there, willing to pick up the pieces and help you get where you need to be. Megan is such a pure soul, I don't understand. Like, she'd protect everything on this planet if she could. She's always growing, and she continues to amaze me. She's the kind of person who you meet and automatically know she's kind and loving and wonderful, but she's also really passionate about things. She loves a challenge. She's willing to fight for what's right. There's so much more to her that you don't know right away, and she's such a pleasure to get to know. And I hope that she continues to get opportunities to step outside of her box, because she's going to meet every single one of those challenges, and she's going to shock and amaze people in the best way possible. Laura is a fighter. She knows what's up, and she's not going to take anybody's nonsense. She's going to get things done. Laura's hilarious, and she's incredibly loving, but more so than anything, she's dependable, and I know that if I ever had anything I needed to get done, I can go to Laura, and she's gonna have it settled. She is always caring of other people. She's willing to put others before herself. She's a joy to work with, and she's fought hard to get where she is now. Hannah, I just genuinely trust to get everything that I need done. When I first met her, it was through Mariah, who was her peer mentor, and always talked about how together she was, and she hasn't proved me wrong once. I had the pleasure of working with Hannah on a movie that she did, and she may have been stressed, but she did such good work. She still kept it together long enough to not only write and direct this thing, but to even be in it because she had to be. She's done good work ever since. This girl makes me so proud, and she's always willing to step up and do what needs to get done. Honestly, if we were to put Laura and Hannah together, I think they could take over the world. I think they really could, and they probably just choose not to because it's easier not to, but like, they could. And that's kind of a scary thought. Michaela's intensely dedicated. She's willing to do the jobs that nobody else was willing to do, and she gets it done. I know that she's worked hard on props, I know that she's worked hard in costumes, she's also worked hard in her personal life and on grades, and she comes out on top every time. If she sets her heart to something, it's gonna get done. And she's gonna do it with kindness, she's going to make you laugh all the while doing it. Michaela is definitely someone I want on my team for everything, at all times. I think I could be a much more efficient person if I had Michaela by my side. Though I didn't get to know them as well, girls like Emma and Liv and Jen Willard and Kara, the girls who joined in my last year there, they always showed a whole lot of dedication. They have incredible talents, each unique and each completely necessary to make something successful. They work hard not just for their organization, but for the people they love. And I'm excited to see where their journey takes them. And then on a less personal note, but still personal to me, there's a lot of women that have inspired me through their work, either through their writing or their videos or their acting, whatever it may be. Women like Carrie Hope Fletcher or Lily Singh, or the women at Rooster Teeth, or Megan Batoon. Women who are so passionate about what it is that they're doing, and they're succeeding in this. It's so good to see people who have similar interests to me actually doing what they love, like professionally, getting paid for it, and loving every second of every day. Because, you know, there are times when we think that we're gonna be stuck in a rut for the rest of our lives, and we're just stuck in some dead-end job. And they remind me, there is nothing wrong with going after what you love. It's completely and entirely possible as long as I'm willing to do the work. So, thank you for that. And obviously, it's not a question. Of course, you are up there on that list for me. You have always been one of my dearest friends. I can go to you with anything. You get me on a level that no one else does, not just because we're both Hispanic, not just because you and I have similar thought processes or we go through boy crazy nonsense, but also because of our spiritual lives. We see the world in a very different way than most other people do because we have God guiding our vision. And I know that no matter what it is that I'm going through, I can tell you every single detail and you are right there with me, and we're gonna support each other in any possible way. There's not a whole lot of other people that I can say that about. There's not a lot of people who, after moving away or not being in the same school, have chosen to be in my life anymore. But you, for the past 10 years, have been right there, and that friendship is going to be special to me for the rest of my life. This video is long enough as it is. I love you. Thank you to all of the women in my life. You inspire me to be better, you motivate me to be better, and I would not be half the woman I am if it weren't for every single one of you. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Love, Sammy.